Mga idol at kabayan, super good news! Kung dati halos mawala na tayo ng pag-asa na magkakaroon ng submarine ang Pilipinas, pero dahil sa sinabi mismo ni Senator Mig Subiri, nahanapan ito ng pondo kung hindi man ngayon maisingit sigurado na ito sa susunod na taon. Sa katunayan, ayon sa mga senador, ang bagong offer ng bansang France para sa dalawang submarine ay pwedeng bayaran hanggang 18 taon o 18 years. Grabe talaga ang France, mga idol at kabayan. Gustong tulungan ng Pilipinas upang kaya nating mabantayan ang mga nasasakupan ng bansa.
Like I said, Mr. President, if you remember, the Naval Group also offered a very easy payment scheme. Mahal yung mga ino-offer nila na submarines, but they are offering an 18-year payment scheme.
Yes, just for the knowledge of everyone.
That includes the training, also in the setting up of the center, or in the shipbuilding
It's a very soft law.
Subic.
Because this is a program, Mr. President. So this will be used to fund our unfunded Horizon 2 projects. So hindi pa kasama dito yung submarine.
Okay.
Ayun na.
Hanapan natin ng pondo yan.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Sponsor.
President. I know you can. And
If
we
not
will
this
support
year,
you.
we can do it next year. I mean, we have
Next
to,
year.
we can do it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Aba, hindi lang yan. Inilahad mismo ni Senator Bato de la Rosa na gusto ng Japan na magkaroon ng Visiting Forces Agreement sa Pilipinas, maging ang Singapore ay gusto ring magkaroon ng VFA sa Pilipinas. Ganito ang tiwala ng mga malalakas na bansa sa kakayahan ng mga sundalo ng Pilipinas. Dagdag pa ni Senator de la Rosa, ayon kay Officer in Charge Secretary of National Defense Faustino Jr., ang Visiting Forces Agreement sa Japan ay posibleng maisa sa katuparan sa taong 2023. Gusto ng mga senador na ang Self-Defense Force ng Japan ay makikipagsanay dito mismo sa Pilipinas.
Japan would like to have one BFA with us, Mr. President, Your Honor, but as of the moment, we still don't have. Yes, Mr. President, according to ISND, sometime next year, it will be materialized, Mr. President. They are in the process of discussing with Japan and also with Singapore. Singapore is also interested, Mr. President.
We have a visiting forces agreement with them so that we can train with them. Because in an advent, let's just put it this way. If there is, sa Bisaya, simbako, no? O sana wala naman. Pero kung may mangyari na nagkakaroon ng gera dito, you have to remember we are treaty allies with the United States. Japan is also allied with the United States. We have to have close coordination with the movements of our Navy vessels and our armed forces.
Japan would like to have one BFA with us, Mr. President, Your Honor, but as of the moment, we still don't have.
May I ask, Madam Senate President Pro Tem, if I may I ask lang our SND, and the AFP, what is the status of the Japanese Visiting Forces Agreement? Because I'm sure we can muster enough support in the Senate for a VFA for Japan. They're good partners. They're very good. They're best of friends of the Philippines.
Yes. And maybe a possible Japan VFA would also bring in investments so that equipment, manufacturing.
Yes,
Remember
our
when we had
coast guard
the
is being
meeting?
outfitted by the Japanese.
Yes, when we had a meeting with the Japanese ambassador and the Chamber of Commerce, they wanted so much to locate in the Philippines. Perhaps that can even be an opening for more investments
They
for
want more
manufacturing.
people-to-people interaction.
Yes. Yeah. With allies.
With your permission, ma'am, may you just ask an answer from
Okay.
Senator Bato on the VFA, Japanese
Well,
VFA?
Mr. President, as of now, they are in the process of discussing with Japan and also with Singapore. Singapore is also interested, Mr. President. But right now, Japan is already joining our military exercises as an observer. Balikatan exercises, during our balikatan exercises with the US. So they are observer status.
Would be nice, with the permission of my Senate President Pro Tem, it would be nice that we have a visiting forces agreement with them so that we can train with them. Because in an advent, let's just put it this way. If there is, sa Bisaya, simbako, no? O sana wala naman. Pero kung may mangyari na nagkakaroon ng gera dito, you have to remember we are treaty allies with the United States. Japan is also allied with the United States. We have to have close coordination with the movements of our Navy vessels and our armed forces. So maganda din po yan. If there is a plan, we will support it. Remember that the Senate is last touch pagdating sa ratification, I think it's a good idea that we have one also for Japan instead of observer status, because with the VFA, they can train together with our troops, and our troops can train there as well.
Yes, Mr. President, according to ISND, sometime next year, it will be materialized, Mr. President. Because
We will study it, Secretary, your sponsors. I will try to convince my colleagues for a two-thirds vote on that if that happens.
Thank you, Mr. President.
In fact, this is not just military training, but it would also include disaster response
Yes,
and
ma'am.
disaster risk
Yes.
reduction.
They can come
Yes.
here like the US.
Yes.
And deliver goods. The troops of Japan, the self-defense forces can come here and help us in calamity.
Even in earthquake drills.
Yes.
Yes, but
Mr. President,
Do you remember,
Coast Guard.
Senator JV?
Our four vessels of the Coast Guard, the flagship is French-made.
Ah,
Likewise, if
French-made.
I may add, Mr. President, if you remember, the Naval Group also offered a very easy payment scheme. Mahal yung mga ino-offer nila ng submarines, but they're offering an 18-year
18
payment
years.
scheme.
Yes,
And
just for the
also
knowledge of
that-
everyone.
That includes the training, also in the setting up of the center or in the shipbuilding
It is a very
area
soft loan.
in Subic.
The National Treasury, the national government of France, particularly for the two submarines, is willing to front load the payment. It's an 18-year loan. So it's a multi-year, mas maliit yung payment every month, every year. So we can work with these countries who believe in the same principles and
Yes.
ideals of our democracy.
yes.
I think this is what we should be
Being
doing.
an archipelago, Mr. President, it is unthinkable that we do not own a submarine.
Vice Mr. President, before I end, I would like to propose that the Senate already added 17 billion, but also we did our research and we will just submit where we can source probably another 10 billion if possible so that we can already catch up. At least makahabol man lang tayo doon sa Horizon 3, Mr. President, so that we will be on schedule. Hopefully, Senator Sani Angara.
He's inside the lounge. You and I'll ask Senator Lauren to preside, and you and I can talk to him now and convince the good chairperson. But thank you, Senator JV, for
Thank
that.
you. Thank
Because this is unprogrammed, Mr. President. So this will be used to fund our unfunded Horizon 2 projects. So hindi pa kasama dito yung submarine.
Okay.
Ayun na.
Hanapan natin ng pondo yan.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Sponsor.
President. I know you can. And
If
we will
not this
support
year,
you.
we can do it next year. I mean, we have
Next
to,
year.
we can do it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. The good minority
Thank
floor
you,
leaders
thank you, Mr.
recognize.
President. With the permission of the chairman, if I can commence my interpellation on the budget of the defense cluster, defense family, DND and attached agencies. Mr. Chairman? Okay. Salamat po. Mabuti na pag-usapan ng submarine. Iba yung aking position po dyan. I'm a very practical person. Alam ko yung economic situation din natin. We have limited resources. Let's be practical. Funds for modernization, but maybe surface vessels or helicopters, which can be used also to respond to disasters. Submarine cannot be used. I don't know if the chairman will dispute my on the use of a submarine to assist in a disaster.
Laban Pinas.